For all of you chocolate and peanut butter lovers, I'm showing you how easily you can make my healthier peanut butter blossom cookies. They're made gluten-free with almond flour and they're naturally sweetened with maple syrup and organic cane sugar. The cookies are lightly rolled in the sugar for a crispy outside, but then they're soft and chewy on the inside. And I'm showing you how the melted chocolate kiss on top can be made with your favorite chocolate chips that meet your dietary needs. Now, I have yet to find some gluten-free, dairy-free, or vegan chocolate kisses, but I was able to find a mold, which means we can melt our own. So now we can use any chocolate chips that we like. And I'm gonna go ahead and use these Enjoy Life mini chocolate chips that are both gluten-free and dairy-free. So we're gonna start with 1/3 cup of your favorite chocolate chips, and you'll want to put them into a microwave-safe bowl. And then we're gonna heat these up in the microwave in 30-second intervals. We'll take it out and stir it in between. So after our first interval of 30 seconds, you can see that it's just starting to melt on the bottom. So we'll go ahead and give these a stir. And then I'll put these in for an additional 30 seconds. So after our second round of 30 seconds, you can see that our chips are melted. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stir these up until it's nice and smooth. And now I'm just gonna take a small spoon and then pour the chocolate right into the kiss mold. And then a really simple hack for making sure all the chocolate gets down into the little tip of the kiss mold is to use a toothpick. I'm just gonna poke it down inside the chocolate and then I'm just gonna kind of wiggle and push the chocolate right down in the middle. And then I'll take the mold and tap it a few times on my counter. And that will help make sure we get out any extra air bubbles. And then this can simply go into the freezer while we make the peanut butter cookies. To make the cookies, we're gonna start with 1/3 cup of room temperature butter. And then I'm gonna add 2/3 cup of some natural peanut butter, 1/3 cup of organic sugar, 1/4 cup of maple syrup, and then I'm gonna mix these together until they're well combined. Well, that looks great. So now we can go ahead and add 1 egg, and then we're just gonna mix this until the egg is incorporated. Ooh, I love it. It's already smelling like peanut butter in here. Now I'm gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract. Now we'll mix these in. Now we can add our dry ingredients, which includes 2 cups of almond flour, 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour, and then I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. I'll just dump those right on top. And then we'll mix these together till we have a very fluffy cookie dough. Well, that looks fantastic. Now, I like to line my cookie sheet with parchment paper because it makes it really easy for getting the cookies on and off of the pan. And then to scoop the cookies, I'm just using my medium-sized cookie scoop. I'm gonna scoop up the cookie dough, but I'm not gonna fill it completely because I found that this size works really well for these cookies. And then I'm just gonna roll it in my hands to make a nice smooth ball. Now we have the option of baking them as is, or you can roll them in a little bit more of the organic sugar. So you just fill a shallow bowl with some of the sugar, drop your dough right inside, roll it around, and then place it on your sheet. And then once they're all rolled, you can go back and kind of shape them a little bit more if you need to, just to make sure they're nice and round. And having that sugar on the outside makes it really easy because they become non-stick. Now these are ready to go into a 350-degree oven for 11 to 12 minutes, just until the sides are starting to turn a light golden brown. Well, these just came out of the oven and they look gorgeous. I ended up baking them for 13 minutes. You can see they're just lightly golden brown around the edges. So now we want to take our frozen little kisses and just push them right down into the center of the cookie. And this will give us our beautiful blossom cookie shape. Keeping our kisses in the freezer helps them to not melt down too quickly, but the bottom will melt down just enough to fuse down with the cookie. And before the cookies cool off, you can go ahead and kind of squish them together just a little bit if you'd like them to be a little more firm. Now I am super impatient and I really want to try one of these, so I'm going to take one and just put it into my freezer for just a couple of minutes so that it's cool enough for me to try. And then we want to remove the cookies off of the warm baking sheet. And then you can put this tray right into your fridge if it looks like your chocolate is melting too quickly. Well, my sample cookie only needed about a minute in the fridge and it is now the perfect temperature. And I love how just lightly golden brown it is on the bottom. And then it has some sparkle from the sugar that was rolled on the outside. And I love the fact that the chocolate kiss isn't completely solid yet. That is delicious. Crunchy. That is the perfect bite of peanut butter and chocolate. As soon as I bite in, I get the crunch from the outside of the cookie, but then that really soft, peanut buttery smooth inside. And then I get some of the chocolate, which pairs perfectly with the peanut butter. And I love the depth of flavor that comes in from the almond flour, and it's not overly sweet like many traditional peanut butter cookies can be. That is so satisfying, and I love knowing that I'm eating a cookie with clean, natural ingredients, which means I'm gonna feel just as good after I eat it. Now, of course, these are a treat, so they do need to be eaten in moderation. Well, thank you so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I've included a link to the full recipe, and it's in the video description below. And I also invite you to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you know someone else who you think would love this recipe, please share this video with them. And I cannot wait to have you hang out with me again in my kitchen.